All right, welcome to this explainer. Today we are absolutely transforming how you handle one of the most notoriously tricky reading comprehension questions out there, the missing extract. You know the one. If you've ever stared at a gap in a paragraph and thought, literally any of these could fit, well, you're in the right place. We're going to turn you into a full-blown text detective. Okay, let's dive right into this. How do you actually find that missing piece of a text? I mean, it totally feels like a guessing game sometimes, doesn't it? You've got this list of disconnected sentences, and you're supposed to just seamlessly plug them back into a massive, complex article. But here's the thing. It's not random. It is absolutely a solvable mystery if you know exactly what to look for. Before we get into the exact solution, though, we absolutely have to bust a massive, massive myth. I call it the matching word myth. Listen, never, and I mean never, choose a paragraph just because you see a repeated word. It is the oldest trap in the book. Sure, repeated words might give you a tiny hint, but they are absolutely not enough on their own. If you just rely on word matching, the test writers are going to catch you out every single time. So to make sure that doesn't happen, here is our agenda for today. 1. The missing extract mystery. 2. Clues, signals, and logic. 3. Matching the main idea. 4. Pronouns and sentence flow. 5. Beware of topic traps. And 6. Your exam success strategy. All right, Section 1, the missing extract mystery, understanding the core goal. Let's get right into it. So, what is the actual goal here? It all comes down to one fundamental concept: paragraph unity. Essentially, this just means knowing exactly what a specific paragraph is mainly about, and then deciding which extract logically completes that specific idea. A good paragraph is like a tightly closed loop. Your job isn't to find a sentence that just sounds smart. Your job is to find the exact piece that perfectly closes that loop. And hey, this really matters. The examples we're using today, they come straight from real, high-stakes national exams. We're talking about really complex texts, like one on telemedicine we'll see a bit later. These tests do not mess around, and the examiners are actively hunting to see if you actually grasp this concept of paragraph unity. Moving right along to Section 2. Clues, signals, and logic, unlocking the relationship. So the crucial point is, how do we actually unlock this relationship? Well, we look for the neon signs the author left behind, which we call signal words. When you're reading an extract, you need to be hyper-aware of words like consequently, as a result, therefore, however, in contrast, previously, now, this, or one reason. These words are absolute gold. They instantly tell you if the extract is giving you a result, an explanation, a contrast, or a conclusion. Let's put this into practice with a real example from a text about biological intelligence. Imagine this is your mystery extract. Consequently, it triggers the immune system to track the sick cells. Okay, detective, what is the signal word here? Boom, it's consequently. That literally means this sentence is delivering a final result. So logically, whatever paragraph came right before this has to explain the cause or the process leading up to it. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. Look at how extract A pairs up with paragraph 2 from that text. Paragraph 2 is all about teaching the body to recognize hidden cancers. It outlines a whole biological process. And then the extract, consequently, it triggers the immune system to track the sick cells, clicks right into place as the perfect, logical result of that exact process. The cause and effect just snap right together. Next up, Section 3, matching the main idea. Reading as one complete unit. Okay, our second major tool requires you to zoom out a bit. You cannot read a paragraph as just a bunch of random disconnected sentences. It's one unified block of thought. Take a look at this extract from an exam text called Satellites and Animals. It reads, as a result of his research, he found that there is a very strong relationship between plant productivity and deer and mountain lion density. Ask yourself, what kind of main idea would this be concluding? Obviously, it's summarizing a scientific finding. Now, look how flawlessly it matches up with paragraph 8. That paragraph talks about a wildlife ecologist explaining how incredibly hard and dangerous it is to measure wild animals directly, which, yeah, trying to count mountain lions doesn't sound fun at all, but it points out that measuring vegetation from satellites is super easy and affordable. That is the main idea right there, using plants to count animals. So our extract, which summarizes the exact relationship between plant productivity and animal density, is the ultimate logical conclusion to that paragraph. All right, Section 4, pronouns and sentence flow, connecting the final puzzle piece. This is honestly one of the most powerful tricks in your entire toolkit. Remember, the missing extract is almost always the final sentence of the paragraph. It has to sound completely natural right after the sentence immediately before the gap. And a massive clue for this flow is pronouns. Words like this, it, they, he. In the satellite's text, one extract says, "One reason for this is to avoid increasing temperatures." Well, what on earth is this? In paragraph 10, the last sentence mentions wild reindeer traveling farther north, so this refers directly to their movement. The grammar literally locks those two sentences together. And you know what else works just like pronouns? Time markers. Check out this telemedicine example. The paragraph ends with, "Before, you had either to work with poor quality equipment or buy a very expensive system." Then our extract starts with, "Now you can buy a $100 webcam." Before in the paragraph is perfectly contrasted with now in the extract. It creates this beautifully smooth chronological bridge showing exactly how the tech got cheaper and better. Which brings us to section 5, beware of topic traps, navigating general versus specific ideas. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how test makers will actively try to set traps for you. They might give you 2 paragraphs discussing the exact same general topic, but you have to ask, is your extract a broad summary or a highly specific case? In the telemedicine text, tons of paragraphs talk about doctors and hospitals, but one extract says, "Previously, dermatologists visited the hospital monthly and always had 100 people on the waiting list." That is super specific. It absolutely has to go with paragraph 9, which explicitly compares old dermatology visits to new teledermatology schedules. You can't just drop it into any random paragraph about doctors. Let's flip that and look at a really general extract. From the biological intelligence text, we have, "Whatever the cells are, biological intelligence rules them all." Think about it. Is that a specific statistic, or is it a big, sweeping conclusion? It's totally a broad conclusion, and look at where it logically lives. It belongs right at the end of paragraph 9. Why? Because paragraph 9 literally lists out a ton of different cell types: bacteria, digestive cells, non-human cells, human cells. Because the paragraph gives us this massive, diverse list, it desperately needs a broad, sweeping statement to tie it all together. Whatever the cells are, it rules them all. The logic is completely foolproof. And finally, section 6, your exam success strategy, the master method. Let's bring it all home and see how this builds into one actionable framework. Here is your 4-step master method. Step 1, read the extract and immediately underline those key signal words. Step 2, read your paragraphs as one unified block to find the main idea. Step 3, physically read the extract out loud right after the last sentence to check the logical flow. And step 4, double-check your pronouns and make sure the general or specific logic holds up. Oh, and remember, do not just rely on finding a matching word. Which leaves us with one final, really provocative question. Now that you can see the hidden matrix of signal words and paragraph unity, can you apply these text detective skills to everything you read? Honestly, whether it's an exam, a news article, or a dense report at work, looking for these structural clues is a total game changer. It makes you an incredibly sharp, focused reader. So take this toolkit, test it out, and watch those missing pieces fall perfectly into place. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.